There's a corner in your home that wealth never visits. You may not notice it, not really. But something in the way money slips through your fingers and how luck skips your doorstep has made you wonder. You've worked hard. You've been responsible, loyal, selfless. You've done all the right things, and still the bills pile up. The worry stays. The little luxuries you dream of, fresh flowers each week, a soft cashmere throw, a vacation without guilt, they remain on hold. Quietly, you've started to think maybe abundance just isn't for people like you. But what if it's not about effort at all? What if there's a part of your space, your energy, that never learned how to invite prosperity in? There's a ritual passed down quietly through women who learned how to hold wealth without fear. No incense, no superstition. Just 3 simple bay leaves, each placed in a different part of your life, like keys unlocking something long forgotten. The first one goes where money lives, your wallet. The second, where your deepest beliefs rest, beneath your pillow. And the third, most sacred of all, is placed by the door, because that's where luck decides whether or not to enter. This isn't a trick, it's not magic, it's alignment. A shift so gentle it feels like a breath, but strong enough to change how energy moves in and out of your life. Today, I'll walk you through it, step by step. So if you've ever whispered to yourself, "I just want it to feel easier," this might be the quiet answer you've been waiting for. Get your bay leaves ready. Not because they change your fate, but because they remind you your life can hold more. More ease, more peace, more wealth. And maybe it starts today. Part 1, a leaf that's more than a leaf. There's a reason money feels like a moving target. You budget, you plan, you save. But just when things begin to settle, something knocks you sideways. A medical bill, a home repair, a call from family you can't ignore. And so you start over, again, quietly wondering why it's always 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You're not careless, you're not ungrateful, but there's a heaviness around money you can't explain. It's not just the numbers, it's the energy. It's how money feels, tense, fragile, like it might disappear the second you breathe too freely. And the truth is, many women have been taught to survive this way, to make do, to silence their needs, to carry the financial weight of generations without ever being shown how to feel safe receiving. Not just earning, receiving. That's the difference no one talks about. Because no matter how hard you work, if your space, your energy, your subconscious hasn't been shown how to welcome abundance, it won't stay. Money isn't just math, it's movement, flow, invitation. And today we're going to shift that. This is not about wishing, not about asking the universe for a miracle. It's about creating quiet, intentional change, starting with a simple ritual involving 3 bay leaves. Yes, the same leaf you might toss into a stew. But what you may not know is that bay leaves have been used for centuries in sacred rituals, not to fix life, but to redirect it. They carry the energy of clarity, protection, and prosperity. And when placed with intention, they act like anchors, helping you reset how money enters, lives, and moves through your life. This practice uses 3 leaves for a reason. Because true transformation happens on 3 levels: the physical, the subconscious, and the energetic threshold that separates lack from sufficiency. That's why you won't just place these leaves randomly. One goes in your wallet, one under your pillow, and one, after a sacred pause, is placed by your door. It's not the leaf that makes the change. It's what the act declares: I am open, I am ready. I am no longer surviving, I'm choosing something more. Let's begin with your wallet. You touch it every day. You carry it into stores. Pull it out in moments of hope or hesitation. It's not just an object, it's a reflection of your relationship with money. And for many, it holds quiet chaos. Crumpled receipts, expired cards, broken zippers. All signs that abundance is being held in a space that doesn't feel sacred. So the ritual begins with cleaning. Not just tidying, but creating space. Take everything out. Hold each item with care. Keep only what feels aligned. Then take a soft cloth and wipe the inside, maybe with a hint of cinnamon or orange oil. This isn't cleaning, it's preparing a temple. Because when you place your first bay leaf inside, it won't be random. It'll be a declaration. Money flows to me with ease. I am safe to receive. And every time you open that wallet, the leaf will whisper it back to you. The second leaf goes deeper, beneath your pillow. Because even if you manage your money well, your subconscious beliefs shape every decision you make. And for most of us, those beliefs were formed in silence, childhood moments, casual comments, times when money felt shameful, dangerous, or simply not meant for people like you. These wounds live under the surface, but when you sleep, your brain slows down. The noise fades, and that's when real healing begins. So before bed, take your second bay leaf, wrap it in a soft cloth, and place it beneath your pillow. Then place your hand on your heart and speak softly. I release all fear around money. I give myself permission to receive. I am enough. And then let it go. No need to expect magic dreams. Just rest, trust that something deeper is hearing you. Now the third leaf, the most powerful one, but don't place it yet. That's part of the ritual. This leaf requires a pause, a moment to feel what's already begun to shift. That pause creates space inside you, space for reflection, awareness. It's like the breath before a decision. Over the next 24 hours, simply notice. How do you feel? Are memories surfacing? Are you more aware of what you allow in emotionally, physically, financially? This isn't passive, it's presence. And when you're ready, you'll take that final leaf to the front door. Because in ancient traditions and modern energetics, the front door is everything. It's not just where people enter, it's where energy begins. It's the threshold between what you tolerate and what you choose. Stand at your door, hold the leaf in your palm, close your eyes. Say quietly, only what supports my peace, my growth, my abundance may enter here. Then place the leaf behind the mat, above the frame, in a pouch by your shoes, wherever feels right, as long as it holds intention. Because from that moment on, every time you cross that threshold, you're not just walking through a door. You're walking into alignment, into a life that doesn't chase wealth but invites it, calmly, steadily, with reverence. You see, the leaf isn't magic, you are. The ritual is just a mirror, reflecting what you're finally willing to believe, that you don't have to keep proving your worth to receive, that you can be both grounded and abundant, both grateful and ambitious, both soft and sovereign. This ritual is a beginning, not of riches overnight, but of a quiet return to balance, to sufficiency, to trust. So gather your leaves, not because they change the world, but because they remind you you were never meant to live in lack. You were meant to receive with grace. Part 2, the first leaf, wallet. Your wallet is not just where money lives, it's where your relationship with money shows itself every single day. In the quiet way you close it, in how you organize it, in the hesitation or ease with which you open it. Most people never think of it that way. They see a wallet as a thing, just a container. But the truth is, it's a mirror. A reflection of what you expect, what you tolerate, and what you believe you're worthy of. And for many, that reflection is filled with silent clutter. Old receipts, expired coupons, torn loyalty cards, a forgotten photo, a dollar bill folded with guilt, not intention. These aren't just objects. They are evidence of how we've treated money, with fear, with avoidance, with survival mode energy. The first bay leaf begins here for a reason. Because you cannot welcome prosperity into a space you treat with indifference. This ritual doesn't begin by burning incense or lighting candles. It begins by opening the very place where you hold your wealth. Literally, open your wallet right now, not to check your balance, but to check your energy. What's inside? What do you see that doesn't belong? Is there dust in the corners? Cards from places you no longer go? Tiny things you haven't looked at in years? Every object inside your wallet holds memory. Every crease holds frequency. So before you place your first bay leaf, you have to clear space, not just physically, but energetically. Start by removing everything. Every coin, every card, every paper scrap you've tucked away. Don't rush. Lay them out on a clean surface like they matter, because they do. You've carried these things close to your body for months, maybe years. Sort through them one by one. Hold each item. Ask yourself, is this something that supports the version of me who is ready to receive more? Let go of what feels outdated. A crumpled gas station receipt from 2 years ago isn't neutral, it's noise. A loyalty card to a place you no longer shop is a signal you're holding onto an identity that no longer serves you. Even a sentimental photo might need to be moved somewhere more honoring. Your wallet is not a scrapbook, it's an altar. Treat it like one. Once everything unnecessary has been released, take a moment. Breathe. Then clean the inside, not just with a dry cloth, but with something infused. A soft rag with a few drops of cinnamon, orange, or even peppermint oil. These are not superstitions, they are reminders. Cinnamon for heat and flow, orange for joy, peppermint for clarity. As you clean, move slowly, let the scent rise. Let your body feel the shift from mess to meaning. This act alone is powerful. You're sending a message not just to the universe, but to yourself. You're saying, I'm ready, I'm creating space for something better. Now take your first bay leaf. Choose one that's whole, unbroken, untorn. It matters, because what you place in your wallet will become an anchor, a symbol your brain will register every time you see it. Fold it gently, not to crush it, but to let it fit with care. Then slide it into your wallet, ideally somewhere near your cash or in the main pocket, not hidden in a forgotten zipper placed with presents. As you do this, place your other hand over your heart and speak softly or think it clearly. Money flows to me with ease, I honor it. I release fear, I welcome increase. Don't say it like a wish. Say it like it's already true. Like you're speaking to a version of you who's already living with more ease, because that's who you're becoming. From now on, every time you open your wallet, that bay leaf will be there. And though it might seem small, your brain is always watching. Every glance at that leaf reinforces a new pattern. I am someone who treats money with care. I am someone who honors wealth as a relationship, not a transaction. That's the real power of this ritual. It changes the micro moments, the subtle places where fear used to sit. It shifts the language inside your body from just enough to there is more and I'm ready for it. But this isn't about faking abundance or pretending you're wealthy when you're not. This is about integrity. Alignment, because even if you're working with very little, the way you hold that little changes everything. There's dignity in honoring what you have. There's power in treating your current space like it matters. That's what the wealthy do without realizing it. They assign value to their spaces. They expect ease, and that expectation shapes their choices. This leaf, this act is how you begin to reshape yours. Some people will say, but it's just a leaf. And yes, technically it is, but rituals have never been about the object. They've always been about what the object unlocks. And in this case, it's not about luck. It's about leadership, the way you lead your space. If your wallet is a mess, your money life probably feels the same. If your wallet is clean, intentional, and respected, then something else starts to shift too. Your awareness, your confidence, your capacity to receive without apology. You may notice after doing this that you hesitate less when it comes to spending on what matters. You may find yourself saying no to things that drain you, yes to things that build you. You may begin to feel less frantic around bills, more grounded in your choices. That's not the leaf. That's you, resetting the pattern. And every time you see that leaf inside your wallet, it will remind you of this moment, this quiet turning point, where you stopped treating money like an emergency and started treating it like a guest worth preparing for. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been, someone worthy of ease, peace, and financial flow. And this first leaf, it's not a beginning, it's a return. A soft, powerful return to a version of you that knows how to hold more. Not because you're lucky, but because you're finally ready to stop surviving and start receiving. Part 3, the second leaf, under your pillow. There's a part of you that handles money, calculates, pays bills, decides what's worth it and what has to wait. She lives in your wallet, but there's another part, quieter, deeper. The one who formed beliefs about money long before you ever held a dollar bill. She's the part who heard things in passing. Money doesn't grow on trees. You should be grateful you have anything at all. Wanting more is selfish. She listened, she remembered. She learned silently to shrink. That part of you still lives inside. She shows up every time you feel guilt after spending, every time you hesitate to invest in yourself, every time you whisper, I can't afford it, without even checking. The second bay leaf is for her, not for logic, not for spreadsheets, but for healing. Because even if your budget is balanced, your energy might still be holding scarcity. And unless that energy shifts, nothing else sticks. Money comes but doesn't stay. Opportunities arise but feel out of reach. You chase, overwork, stretch, and still feel behind. That's not failure, that's programming, and your subconscious is the operating system running it. We place this second leaf beneath your pillow for one reason: that's where the subconscious lives. When you sleep, your brain isn't off, it's open. It moves from alertness to softness, from defense to absorption. The noise fades, and your deeper beliefs rise to the surface. That's when rewiring begins, not through effort, but through presence. This ritual meets your mind where it's most vulnerable and most willing to change, and you don't have to understand every step for it to work. You only have to participate with care. Start by choosing a single, unbroken bay leaf. This one doesn't need to be seen. It needs to be felt. Hold it in your hand. Let it warm in your palm. Notice the scent, the shape, the stillness. Then take a small piece of cloth, cotton, silk, even a clean handkerchief will do. Wrap the leaf gently like something you want to protect, not because it's fragile, but because it matters. Before bed, place it beneath your pillow, not under the mattress, not hidden in a drawer, right beneath where your head rests, because this is where the messages need to land. This is where the shift begins. Now lie down, let the room be still. Place one hand on your chest, not dramatically, just simply. Feel your breath, and when you're ready, whisper a new truth. Something like, "I give myself permission to heal," or "I release all fear around money," or "It's safe for me to receive." Say what feels honest, not forced. Let it come not from who you think you should be, but from who you really are. Then close your eyes. Let the leaf do its work, not as magic, but as a signal. A small, steady reminder to your subconscious that the old story is done, that you're writing a new one now. You may notice things in the nights that follow. Vivid dreams, emotional memories, feelings you haven't visited in years, or maybe nothing dramatic, just a deeper sense of calm or a sudden awareness of how long you've carried fear that wasn't even yours. These are signs the healing is happening, that something frozen inside you is beginning to thaw. Don't analyze it. Don't chase a result. Just keep showing up. Each night as you lay your head down, remember, this is a sacred space now. Your pillow isn't just a place of rest, it's a place of return. Because this part of the ritual isn't about becoming someone new. It's about coming home to the part of you that always knew how to trust, how to hope, how to receive. She was just buried under decades of messaging that said she had to earn her worth, hustle for grace, apologize for wanting more. This leaf reminds her she doesn't. The reason this step is so powerful isn't because it changes your income overnight. It's because it changes how you feel when you wake up. Less anxious, less guarded, less at war with yourself, and that feeling becomes a foundation, a quiet strength that begins to ripple out into your choices, what you say yes to, what you walk away from, how you speak about money, how you think when unexpected bills show up. You're no longer reacting from fear. You're responding from grounded clarity. That's what this leaf does. It softens the noise so the truth can rise. And that truth is simple. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not unlucky. You are just unlearning. And every night you place that leaf beneath your pillow, you remind yourself that healing doesn't require struggle. It requires willingness. That's all. Willingness to believe something else is possible. Willingness to stop repeating what you inherited. Willingness to rest, not just your body, but your beliefs. Let this be your ritual, not a task, but a rhythm, something quiet but alive. A way of saying to yourself night after night, I no longer carry this fear. I no longer dim my desire. I no longer reject what is meant for me. Because what's meant for you doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be welcomed, and when the space inside you is ready, it will come. The second bay leaf is not about action, it's about readiness. Not about control, but surrender. Not about fixing, but softening. So sleep with intention. Dream without resistance. Let your inner world stretch toward something lighter, wider, kinder. And when you wake up, let your day reflect that softness. One small shift at a time. Because when the inside changes, everything else starts to move with it. This is the gift of the second leaf. A shift you may never fully see, but will always feel. And sometimes the most powerful change isn't what shows up in your bank account. It's what no longer shows up in your thoughts. The fear, the shame, the story that kept you small. That's how you know the healing has begun. Part 4, the third leaf, the door. You've cleared space in your wallet. You've softened your subconscious beneath your pillow. But there's one final place where energy enters or gets stuck, and that's your door. Not just the wooden frame or the lock you turn every night. The door is a threshold, a quiet gate between the life you've survived and the one you're ready to receive. And the third bay leaf belongs here. Not because of magic, but because of intention. Because if your wallet is where money lives and your pillow is where beliefs shift, then your doorway is where choice begins. This is where you say with calm certainty, only what serves me may enter. Everything else stays outside. Most people walk through their front door a dozen times a day without noticing. They carry stress in, bring fear in, let outside chaos bleed into their sacred space. And without knowing it, their home becomes a container not for rest, but for noise. The third leaf is your boundary, your silent sentry, the one that reclaims that threshold not as a passage for pressure, but as a portal for prosperity. And the way you place it matters. But before we do, pause. This part of the ritual asks for stillness, not busyness, not multitasking. You've already begun shifting your internal world. You've already stirred something. Now you need to be present for it. So take a breath. Turn off your phone. Let the house fall into quiet. This isn't about ritual for show. It's about energy. And energy responds to intention, not performance. Choose a moment when you're alone or at least undisturbed. Mornings are good. Evenings are sacred. But what matters most is your clarity. Take your third bay leaf in hand, whole, untouched. This one must be complete, not because the leaf is powerful, but because it reflects your readiness to stand whole in your space. Hold it to your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Let it steady. Then speak softly or just in your mind. From this point forward, only what nourishes my growth may enter. Only what aligns with abundance may stay. All else may leave. Then walk slowly to your front door from the inside, not out on the porch, not on the other side. Stand where you cross the threshold each day. This is your crossing point. And here you place the leaf, not hidden in a drawer, not taped where others see, but placed in a way that feels sacred to you. You can tape it gently behind the top of the door frame, out of sight but not out of meaning. You can tuck it behind the welcome mat where every step in carries intention. Or slide it into a small pouch and place it near the door, inside a shoe cabinet above the door frame or nestled on a windowsill nearby. Wherever you choose, pause there. Press your fingers to the wall or the frame. Let your body recognize this moment. Then whisper, this is a protected space. This is a receiving space. This is a home for peace, for wealth, for grace. What you've just done is simple, but don't confuse simple with small. This gesture, this quiet placement creates a shift, because now your home has a filter, an energetic border that allows in only what aligns. This isn't superstition, it's direction. And in a world that constantly pulls your energy in every direction, choosing what you allow in is one of the most powerful things you can do. But there's something more. This third leaf is not forever. It's living, just like energy, just like habits. It must be replaced every 21 days, not because it expires, but because you evolve. Neuroscience shows that 21 days is how long it takes to begin reinforcing a new pattern. So this ritual isn't one and done. It's a rhythm, a way to check back in, to say, I'm still choosing alignment. I'm still making space for what I want. I'm still honoring this boundary between chaos and calm. Every time you replace the leaf, you anchor that commitment deeper. You'll notice it in how you walk through the door, in how you greet your home, in how you feel just a little taller, a little more certain each time you return. Because this isn't just about money, it's about what enters your life, who you let close, what thoughts you allow to echo in your hallway, what standards you set for your own peace. The bay leaf becomes a marker of what stays and what no longer belongs. Some days it might feel like nothing's changing. But then one day, you'll realize you said no to something that used to drain you, or yes to something that lights you up. You'll find yourself less triggered, more grounded. You'll stop over-explaining your worth. You'll stop waiting for permission, and that's how you'll know the shift has happened. You're no longer trying to attract wealth. You've become a space where wealth wants to stay. That is the purpose of the third leaf. To hold the line, not just physically, but spiritually. Not just for your home, but for your whole energy field. It says to the world, I'm done leaking. I'm done proving. I'm done tolerating what doesn't serve. And in its place, you allow in support, softness, enoughness. You allow in the kind of prosperity that doesn't just show up, but stays. This ritual in its entirety was never about bay leaves. It was about remembering your power, reclaiming your space, returning to a life where wealth is not the reward for overwork, but the natural result of alignment. And when you walk through that door now with your third leaf in place, let your whole body remember, this is no longer a house that holds chaos. This is a home that holds abundance. Final, you've just completed something far more powerful than placing 3 leaves. You've rewritten your relationship with money, not by force, but through intention, through presence, through care. Each step in this ritual wasn't about fixing you. It was about revealing you. The version of you that has always been quietly waiting for safety, for space, for permission to receive. The wallet held your outer world, the everyday decisions, the visible patterns. That was the beginning, clearing physical clutter to signal to your brain, I'm ready to hold more. And that message isn't small, it matters, because your brain is always listening. Every object you interact with becomes a symbol, and in psychology, symbols create anchors, links between physical things and internal beliefs. That bay leaf in your wallet is more than a leaf. It's a cue that says, we treat money with reverence now. Then came the pillow, the subconscious, the beliefs you didn't choose but still carried. The fear that wasn't yours but became part of your nervous system anyway. And when you placed that second leaf under your pillow, you gave your inner self the one thing she's rarely received, rest. That gesture wasn't magic, it was neurological, because while you sleep, your brain consolidates memory, softens resistance, and integrates suggestion. You weren't just dreaming, you were unlearning, releasing, repairing. And finally, the door, the threshold between who you've been and who you're becoming. The third leaf wasn't just placement, it was protection, not a wall, not a defense, but a filter, a way to say, this space now honors peace. This energy now respects my boundaries. It was energetic hygiene, a reset at the edge of your world. All 3 leaves placed with care work in harmony. One supports action, one supports belief, one protects alignment. That's the science of ritual. It bridges the brain, the body, and the unseen. Not through superstition, but through repetition, through meaning, through energy. And energy, whether we name it or not, is what shapes how we experience wealth. You're not just a person trying to manifest more. You are a system, a network of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and every day those systems interact with your environment. What you allow in, what you surround yourself with, what you repeat, all of it tells your mind what's safe, what's possible, and what's worth reaching for. And when you change even the smallest part of that system, when you place a leaf with intention, you begin to redirect the whole. This ritual is not an end, it's a beginning, a soft revolution, one that starts not with loud declarations, but with quiet choices. And now that you've made those choices, something inside you has shifted. You may not feel it all at once, but you'll see it in how you carry your wallet, in how you sleep, in how your home holds you differently, in how you speak about what you deserve. This is what healing abundance looks like. Not a lottery win, not an overnight fix, but a steady recalibration, a return to worthiness. A life that no longer fears money but flows with it, and you didn't get here by wishing. You got here by remembering that you were never broken, never too late, never meant to live in lack. So keep the ritual alive, not just every 21 days, but in how you live. Let your daily choices reflect the same clarity. Let your boundaries echo the same calm. Let your home stay attuned to the energy you've now invited in. This is your new pattern, your new normal, your new story. And if it ever feels like the energy is fading, like the old patterns are returning, you don't have to start over. You just have to return to the leaves, the wallet, the pillow, the door. The places you first remembered. I am worthy, I am ready, I receive. Thank you for choosing presence. Thank you for walking this path softly but surely. And remember, the ritual is complete, but your expansion has only just begun.